All right, let's jump right into it. We're going to talk about how you can start investing with just $10. And yes, you heard that right, just a $10 bill.
For so many of us, the answer to this is a big fat yes. It can feel like this exclusive club, like you need a secret handshake and a giant pile of cash just to get through the door. You see all these wild, complex charts. You hear all this confusing jargon like alpha and beta. And then you see that most brokerage accounts want thousands of dollars just to get started. It almost feels like it's designed to be intimidating. But what if I told you that entire barrier to entry has basically crumbled? What if the key to unlocking that entire world was this? A single $10 bill. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but this is the new reality of investing.
So let's first talk about this invisible wall that has kept so many people out of the market for so long. It's really just built on a foundation of myths.
And here are the bricks in that wall. The myth that you need a huge bag of money to even begin, that it's way too complex, or that you need some fancy finance degree to succeed. Every single one of these ideas is completely outdated. That is the old way of thinking. Technology has come along and just knocked that wall right down.
And the tool that brought that wall down, it's called micro-investing. This is the whole concept that makes your $10 incredibly powerful.
So what is it exactly? Well, it's pretty simple. Instead of saving up for one giant, scary investment, you invest tiny amounts of money on a regular basis. You can think of it like a subscription service for your future wealth. The key words here are small and regular. And this comparison really shows the difference. Traditionally, you needed a big chunk of change, you had to deal with these complex brokerage firms, and you'd make these large, infrequent buys. Microinvesting just flips that whole thing on its head. You can start with literal pocket change. You use a simple app on your phone, and the whole focus is on building a small, consistent habit. It's a complete mindset shift. And this gets to the absolute core of the philosophy. It shifts the focus away from that super stressful idea of timing the market, trying to guess the perfect moment to buy or sell. Instead, it's all about time in the market. You're not trying to be a psychic. You're just consistently putting small amounts of money to work and then letting time and compound growth do all the heavy lifting for you.
Okay, enough theory. Let's get practical. Here is your actual step-by-step blueprint for making your very first investment.
And seriously, it is this easy. First, you pick an app that you like. Second, you securely connect it to your bank, just like you would a Venmo or any other payment app. And third, you move that first $10 over and pick your investment. The whole process can honestly take less time than it takes to order a pizza. Now, when you're choosing that app, keep an eye out for these features. Low fees are a must, right? You want your money working for you, not for the platform. Fractional Shares is a total game changer. It means your $10 can buy a tiny little slice of a super expensive stock, like an Amazon or a Google. And definitely look for automatic investing options. That's how you build that effortless habit.
All right, let's zoom out for a second, because that first step, it's about so much more than just $10.
That $10 is not going to turn into $1 million next week. That is not the point. The point is you are proving to yourself that you can be an investor. You are breaking down that mental barrier, and you're building the single most important asset you have, a financial habit.
It's an old saying for a reason, because it's so true. That first $10 isn't your destination. It is the very first step on what can be a long and really rewarding journey. It's the moment you decide to start walking. So the real question isn't whether you can invest anymore. The question is, what will you do now that you know you can? A piece of your favorite company? A fund that tracks the whole market? The choice is all yours. So, what are you going to build with your first $10?